Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lovers Society with me, Gert Retief, and tonight we are traveling to my home country, South Africa. Well, I am South African, born and raised, and now adopted country of Belgium, almost going to 9 years here in, well, it's actually a nice Belgium. Living in Brussels, shitty weather, but at least I'm much closer to all the source of many of the whiskies that I try and review. And of course, it gives me an opportunity while opening up the world for so many new whiskies. Now, I am a little bit biased when it comes to the whiskies from South Africa, and bear with me. And if you have an opportunity to try them, you will agree. I have converted quite a number of my friends into a Bain's lover. And yeah, it is a fantastic whiskey, well-made whiskey. And my journey started with of course, the cheapest one, the bottom of the range, Bain's from Cape Mountain. It's distilled by the James Sedgwick Distillery in the Cape Mountains, and it's a single grain whiskey. And this one, it is so cheap. I think I paid less than 15 euros for this bottle, and that is where the journey started. A real solid, heavy, thick bottom bottle. Something, a man bottle that you can hold in your hand. You're not going to worry that it's going to break. So that is where it started off. And of course, a lot of the people that watched the video started looking for it and coming back to me and say, you know what, you're right, it is a really good whiskey. Maybe not always easy to find, but if you go online here in Europe, you're definitely going to find it. In the UK as well, you're going to find it. And of course, that journey took me a little bit further. Sometimes when you start a journey in a specific whiskey, you want to find that a little top tier whiskey, a little bit more expensive. And of course, the people that has been part of my journey, all my subscribers, going towards 1,600 of them, they know I have got a little bit of a sweet tooth. And of course, I went to a duty-free store. Well, I'm a duty-free freak. I've got now about more than 50 videos on duty-free shops. So if you want to know what's happening in the rest of the world, I will put maybe a link on the end card for all the duty-free videos so you can have a look yourself. Now, this one was a bargain, 18-year-old. That is the Pedro Ximénez Bain's single grain whiskey, finished in Pedro Ximénez. And a lovely presentation box. Now, pause the video. What do you think? Put a comment. How much would you pay for a single grain 18-year-old Pedro Ximénez finish? You'll be quite surprised. So nice presentation box. It is just a lovely, dark, friendly, super sweet Pedro Ximénez inspired whiskey. As you can see from the color, and that what you see now is definitely on reflection. It is what the color is, natural color, non-chill filtered, and they bottled it at a nice 50.5% ABV. Now, my special occasion whiskey for now. And yeah, and that brings me, of course, to today's whiskey, which I got at another duty-free shop. And this one was in Mauritius last week. And of course, big boy bottles, 1 liter. The 15-year-old. This is also a single grain. And with the distinction, well, I will read that for you a little bit later on. The only problem that I have, the fine print that they have, well, it's really fine print and you need a magnifying glass to see what is in it. Of course, natural color, non-chill filtered, and I'm quite looking forward to. Now, price-wise, was a shock for me, and how cheap it is. I paid $43 for this bottle for a 15-year-old. And for me, it is, if I want to buy it here in Belgium at the online stores, I had a look, 68, 65, up to almost 70 euros for this bottle. Now, yes, Belgium does have a lot of taxes and duties, but that is quite a lot of money for me anyway, for this bottle. So for me, I always, if I see something, I will make sure that I have at least internet connection before I just jump on it, to make sure that it is a special price. Now for me, 43 euros, I couldn't resist, so I grabbed the bottle. This is it. It does come in a box as well, and this is what the box looks like. They give you some information. I do like the, well, almost copper inlays that they have with all the information on it. Of course, the fine print is definitely there, giving you some more information. Maybe you can go look for yourself. I don't want to spend too much time on what is on the box. For me, it's natural color, non-chill filtered, and of course the price is definitely a component to it. This one, it is 1 liter bottle, and it is bottled at 52.5% ABV. It is a special release bottle. And what other information do we care about? On this bottle, it says Founders Distillery, Andy Watts. If you want more information, I know he's also on Instagram, gives a lot of information, and every time that I ask a question or I make a comment, he's the type of guy that will come back to you and he will answer some questions for you. A fantastic guy. Never met him, only know him from social media, but really a guy that is passionate about the whiskey that he produces. Now, this is going to be a first pour, if I can get it open. And then I will spend some time with this bottle, and maybe later on, if it's some development, I might come back and do some additional. Now eventually I did get it open. I'm quite looking forward to this one. And it looks like quite a tight squeeze. This is not a just a normal plastic cap. For me, it doesn't really matter. I think sometimes these ones are better than the cork. I've had a couple of mishaps now when you take the cork out and half stays behind. So yeah, Bain's 15-year-old single grain whiskey from South Africa. Looking forward to trying this one. So color-wise, definitely nice amber or copper color coming in. There's a little bit of a oiliness to it. A little bit of a nice slow legs, very slow to form, and once those legs are forming, you can see them going down quite slowly. So on the nose, cheers. Now I think a lot of people say you will say anything, but I can promise you, if you are into a whiskey that is bourbon-like. Now they use 100% South African grain, or what they call it, sun-kissed South African grain, and they are saying that the only distillery in the world that uses 100% grain. Well, that's perfumey. That's loads and loads of vanilla. It's sweet. It's caramel, fudge, butterscotch sweet. That 50, let me just want to make sure, I think it's 52.5% ABV. Now, if you would tell me that is the ABV. I would expect not to put my nose in it too deep and take a deep breath. It's going to cause a problem. Nothing. It doesn't even feel like it's 40% ABV. It is mellow, it's well balanced, and every time when I go back it feels a little bit sweeter. There's a little bit of a dark chocolate component coming in. There's a little bit of a dried fruit component coming in. It is just fantastic on the nose. It reminds me of that trail mix with the chocolate bits in and the raisins and the dried fruit, little pieces of it, and you chew it. And that aromas, when you open up that packet, that chocolatey things, that dried fruit. And there's no rough edges on it. Absolutely. Even if I do a vigorous agitation just to release that alcohol molecules, nothing. Perfumey even. That is absolutely a stunning one on the nose. There's a complexity to it. Even at 15 years old, it feels on the nose like it has been mellowed over a long period of time. When we talk about the maturation, and I will read it for you, they have 100% sun-kissed South African grain, spent 3 years maturing in casks with ex-bourbon cask, and then they will revat it into a fresh set of ex-bourbon cask again, and then for the rest of the 10 years in older oak casks. So okay, keep it oak casks, well, American oak casks, and they just revat, and then older one, maybe a little bit, not to extract so much of the tannins, and that is evident that there's a hint of a oakiness, but it is not overpowering the nice, sweet, lovely notes that comes out. If the nose translates into the taste, I will be a happy guy. So cheers. Now, I was careful. I took a very small sip. I didn't want to burn the whole palate. I think I can go back again just before I start. Go back again and make me do a bigger sip. Oh my word. Again, high ABV. It does not translate in the taste that it is high ABV. There's a little bit of a heat, but the first thing that you get is a hint of a oiliness. You get loads and loads of sweetness, that caramel, the butterscotch. There's a hint of a banana, loads of vanilla in it. And a hint of a tingle, just a tad of a tingle that's saying that, listen, I am a high ABV, be careful. There's zero tannins, no bitter notes. It is just smooth sailing, and it leaves you with that nice hot feeling, and it gives you a little bit of that sweetness, that raisins note that comes out. I get a little butterscotchy note, I get a vanilla on it, I get a little bit of a dried fruit, and a hint of that chocolate, about a 70% cacao chocolate. So that little bitter note, I think that translates into that chocolatey note. Just one more try. Man, this is nice. That chocolate note on this sip, a little bit of a low cacao chocolate, a sweet chocolate note. And it gets a sweeter in a note, and again I get a little bit of a feeling that I need to chew it, because it is such a nice, compact, viscous, grainy type of taste to it. I know this is absolutely fantastic. It reminds me also a little bit of a creamy caramel, even a little bit of a fudgy note that comes out. You know, the fudge with a little hint of chocolate in it. One more try. If you are into sweet whiskies, if you want something, well, think about this one as a little bit towards the bourbony notes. I can tell you, my bourbon-loving friends would absolutely love this one. They will rant and rave about this 15-year-old whiskey. And I cannot find a fault. From nose to taste, it is really a good whiskey. Don't take my word for it. Go look for it, buy it, try it. Come back to me in the comments and tell me I'm right. Yes, I know I'm right. A lot of people will like this one. Now, this bottle is definitely for sharing. I have numerous friends and colleagues that also partake a little bit in the whiskey scene. I will definitely share this bottle, share the love. And of course, if you buy a bottle, well, share something to your non-South African whiskey drinkers. Give an opportunity to taste perfection. Perfection indeed. Of course, as usual, please leave a comment. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Give your opinion, even positive or negative. If you think I can improve in something, I am welcome. I'm welcoming any comment. We are trying to raise quite a lot of money for kids in South Africa. So the ad revenue, everything goes towards them. I don't take it. If Super Chats, Patreon, whatever, don't expect different content. Expect that your money will be well spent on food for kids in South Africa. So thank you very much for watching this wonderful Bain whiskey. And of course, you can also follow them on Instagram and give them a hint. Tell them what you think. If you love them, they are a fantastic company. So thank you very much, and I see you next time. Cheers.